This is stacked. Let's see here if we can get the game feed up. It's not really working right now, is it? I can tell. That is interesting. Why is it not? 1 second, 1 second. That is weird. It's supposed to be working. It was working earlier. Oh, that's Task Manager. Okay. I just re-added the source. We're back. Guys, we're into the first round of the first match. So sorry about the black screen. Let's get into the action. We have Massa, Afi, Carl Jr., and Pack, and they are on Grassline. This map ends with a very interesting trick, the bug slide onto the bridges here, and it looks like Afi will take that one. The 102.96. It is frozen? No way. Oh, this is frustrating. That didn't work. Let me try this. What? What? Why? No, seriously, why? Seriously, why? I don't understand. But we'll work with what we got. I have not changed anything. Let's take a look. We'll work with it. Let's enjoy what we can of this match. It is so stacked. Must, I think, has the fastest personal best in this field with a 102.71 personal best. But he's going up against some Titans, and he's currently in last out of these four. It's Carl Jr. in first. Going up to the ending, he's getting chased down by Afi, who won the first round. Bug slides out, and looks like Afi, almost had it, but he slid off the platform and will not keep enough grip to get the round win. That is so strange. Oh. Right now, we're gonna have to watch this match as is and then figure out what's going on. Let's see what we have. So already on the start here, Pack tried some lines. I watched his live stream when he was playing this, and he was consistently able to gain a little bit more time than most other players up to the loop checkpoint, especially by turning in early left here. See the white car getting to the reset block early, carrying speed is usually a good idea. But Mussa's done it all just even faster. Getting under a 40-second checkpoint. Now towards the end, it is very close. Afi with the no slide to get a lot more speed, jumping up into first. But releasing a little bit too much for the bug slide, going flying, and that's going to be Pack taking the round win in his stead. Next round up. Everyone's gotten 1 point so far. In the first 3 rounds, no one's gotten the double. Speaks to how close it is. Massa still on 0. Wide setup for this long left-handed turn. Just want to full speed it. It's gonna jump up into first here. 200s ahead of the others. Early inside drift. Will not have the best speed outcome out of this, but it is enough to remain in first before the loop. Afi, though, coming back with a lot more speed into first now. 100th ahead, different setup for the grass turn. Massa temporarily getting the lead and will actually hold on to it. But look at this line from Afi. Early dive into a no slide to build up speed. Making him come back a little bit super close before the bug slide. Afi setting up, so does Massa, and Massa will have that one. 102.92 here. Great winning time. I mean, that is just 0.3 of a second away from world record on a 1-minute track. First to 3 points wins. The top 2 players win. Everybody at 1 right now. What we're watching could very well be like a world championship final here with these 4. They are all so incredibly good at the game. And in fact, 3 of them were in the world championship final last year with Carl Jr., Uffy, and Pack. So, this is high caliber stuff right here. Carl Jr. now in the lead, but if Uffy... Oh, he missed the nose slide. He's not going to get any closer. Massa, perhaps the only one in range to stop Carl from getting this win. Carl with a late exit. That's not going to be a lot of speed, and Massa will try to snipe it, but he crashes the finish line. Oh, very importantly, Massa's car did not cross the line in time, so Carl actually takes that. Carl is now finalist. And the pace they're driving is crazy. I mean, 4th place here would be enough to win pretty much any other match. The pace they're driving. So, everyone's putting up a big fight for these points. Early turn here from Massa. Oh, Pack had to release. He did not fancy his turn there. So 3 players left to fight for it. Massa and Carl with a dead even split on the checkpoint. Now into the end. Will Uffy be able to use his line here to his advantage? A little bit more speed than Massa, but Carl is coming in like a rocket. Will he hold the bug slide though? Oh, that's a great turn from Uffy. Super close race, but it will be Carl. 400 out of Massa, 7 ahead of Uffy. And Carl is now safely through to the winner bracket. 3 quick points. But he did not get that easy. It's very close between all of them. Ooh, interesting to see how Uffy waits a little bit to jump there. The others jump very early, but he sets up wider. Did not look like it gained a lot, just perhaps comfort. At this level, a lot of the lines you have to drive are forced in a way where they're just the best lines. Like, all the players go for the same stuff, but there is some leeway for just whatever you're the most comfortable driving. Still making it work. Look at this battle. Pack now in the mix as well. Has had a couple of rough rounds, Pack. Does he have a chance to keep up with Massa and Uffy? Doesn't look like it. This is going to be blistering fast in the bug slide again, and Massa almost having the setup, but this time Uffy takes it with a 102.84. That's a monster winning time. 2200s behind world record in a live match. At this level, is crazy. Uffy now finalist. Massa going a little wide. That was not intentional. Lost about a 10th in the start. See if you can find it in the long left turn. Good speed here for Massa to gain a little bit of it back. Ooh, and a great drift. That is Massa back in the field. Pack touching the wall on the inside, making it a 1 versus 1. Uffy versus Massa. Uffy with more speed into the checkpoint, but releasing to set up on the grass. Massa did it without the release, so they're even closer now than before. We know Uffy does this line, which can gain a little bit. Oh, and that's perfect. That is beautifully executed. Look at the lead that Offie just built up with the no slide line. Can he hold it in the bug slide? Massa has an early no slide set up here, and can he hold it into the finish? Massa takes it by 100th to put himself into finalists. This is such back and forth. It's crazy. I thought it was over when Offie nailed the first no slide. But Massa's end here is seriously fast. And he comes right back. Oh, but this time he might have left too much time to his opponents in the start. It's 0.2 of a second. It would require a perfect middle part here to come back. He's gonna try at least. He's gonna send it up the hill. He survives the turn and he is closer. But now still 900s behind. Even after all that. Has actually managed to overtake Offie here. And Pack is next and he's not far away. Massa's making the comeback happen on the map he won in week 1 to try to get into the winner's bracket. This time, all 3 players side by side. Who has the best setup for the final bridge? It's gonna be Pack. And we are going into a triple finalist situation. Whoever wins this round now wins the match. It can't go any longer. All players won 2 matches. And they all just need 1 more point. Will it be Offie, Pack, or Massa? Last round, Massa was so far behind, nearly made the comeback happen. Look at this now. Equal with the others at this checkpoint. That could be massive. If Massa hits this uphill drift like he did in the previous round, he could easily claim the lead here, but he goes a bit wide. And he's not going to find the time save he was looking for. It will still be Offie in first. And a quite dominant lead at that. 1/10 of a second to both of his opponents. Pack a little closer after the grass part. But here he goes wide. Can Offie get the no slide now in the last round when it matters? Look at the speed he's building against his opponents. He's going to be far ahead. But is his bug slide going to be on point? The others are getting closer. Will anyone secure it other than Offie? No, he takes it. 102.90 for Offie in the final round. To join Carl Jr. in the winner's bracket. And Pack and Massa, despite playing a fantastic match here, go into the loser's bracket. That is crazy. Wow. Yeah, welcome to Trackmania Esports. If you haven't seen it before, it is so exciting. They're really good at the game. We are soon going into the second bracket. I'm gonna quickly see if we get the results from the first matches. Currently, I believe it is just showing the challenger matches from earlier. But now it looks like we have it updated. And all the matches have been played. So, Carl Jr., Mudda, Grenadi, and Gwen in the winner's bracket. Papu, Mime, Offie, Aurel as well. And we have Pack, Bren, Otak, and Binks, who all lost their match. And Spam, Scrappy, Muscle, and Kappa all lost as well. We are going on to Touchdown. It's the second map. I believe this first match is looking very good. Second one as well. It's either or, 50-50. I say let's go for match 1 here. Let me show you the map. Let me show you Touchdown. So this right here is Touchdown, the second map of the day. It was introduced last weekend for the previous matches. It features, well, really big jumps in quarter pipes that you'll soon see. And they are very difficult to aim. It's a high-speed track apart from that. But then it gets pretty crazy near the ending. Gets pretty crazy at the final jumps. So here, up to the checkpoints, we're building up more and more speed. into a wall ride, carry the speed out of that one. There's a left drift, and then you have to quickly turn right onto the plastic and go full left to carry the speed down here. And now this here. So you see the quarter pipes in the distance. For these ones, you can jump up into the rings, barely collect them, and then jump down. There's even a trick to reduce airtime that I think the players will do, which gains about a 1/10 per jump. That's a lot of time saved if it's Trackmania. So, yeah, expect them to go for that when we're getting into it. Real quick, go over here and get the server link. Really sorry about the technical thing. I don't know what happened to my game. It's always a mystery what happens to to Trackmania sometimes, but I think we figured it out now. I don't think there'll be any problems for the second match, so thank you guys for being patient with your caster. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you, thank you. Just gonna see here how this looks. That does not look... Oh, that works. Okay. We will run with this. Oh, or will we? Wait a sec. I think we shall. Actually, does this work? Hang on. Oh, perfect. Okay, guys, I found it. I found it. Yeah, touchdown starting up now. Between Mutta, Grenady, Gwen, and Carl Jr. And the way the format works, all these players, they won their first match. Now they're facing against each other. The other winners. So, you are meeting the best if you win, and you are meeting the other losers if you lose. It looks frozen. Oh, you are right. It is. Alright, we are starting in 10 seconds. I think I can real quick fix this. If I do that and this. Okay, we should be going in now. With no problems. Match number 2 of step 3 of Trackmania Grand League. Here we go, guys. Between Carl Jr., Mutta, Gwen, and Grenady. World record is a 1:12.1 by Musa. Really good time. Earlier today, we saw the Challenger players play. They were doing 1:12.8, 1:12.9. Apparently, that's not too fast. I think you might need a 0.5 here to secure round wins consistently. We shall see. It's an interesting matchup, too, between these players. You have Gwen and Carl, who are just notorious for incredible pace. Then you have Grenady, who you can expect will not crash a single round here this entire match. And then you have Mutta, who's like really good at full speed and special tricks. Last week he won with a new trick he discovered that saved like 0.2 per lap. And he might have similar things up his sleeve for the newest maps that are coming. So stylistically very different players, but all very, very fast at the game. In this first round, it is Carl with a slight lead out of the 3 others. But now we go to the quarter pipe jump. So see here, Mutta's going to go to the very right and try to go a little bit off the side of the ramp there to get more speed in the landing. He's going to do it twice here. If he gets a nose down of his car into the quarter pipe, he could gain speed. But no, he will not be successful. And that is Carl Jr. taking the round 1:12.6. Setting the standard. Carl Jr. getting the first point. The greatest of all time. No surprise. But it is a bit surprising how long Carl is able to remain on top. We always think, when will someone come along and beat him? And every season we have our hopes, but Carl is Carl, and he's damn good at this racing game. Time and time again. Incredible how long he's remained rank 1. Here though, Granati giving him a challenge before the quarter pipe. They set up wide. Will Mutta do the trick? Yes, but he is a little bit too far behind to make anything happen. It is between Carl Jr. and Granati for the win here. Carl Jr. going for a low jump. So does Granati. This is very close here. It comes down to the small details. Who has the most speed? That is Carl by 1/100th of a second. 1:12.53. And so that is less than 4/10 behind world record. But the world record does this trick twice. So effectively you can think that Carl Jr. just drove 0.2 behind world record in pace, and then he didn't do the end trick. So he was driving a monster run there, and very impressive of Granati to match that. They both drove great times. A little bit low speed for Gwen here. You see Granati opting for a wider line with more exit speed. And he's right on Carl Jr.'s heels. Up the wall right now. Again, opting for exit speed here. Carl with a more inside approach. He's gaining a 10th with that. Carl Jr. now in the lead. Oh, that's a beautiful line from Carl. This is a fast run once again. This time no one's able to keep up. Not even a trick can save you here, Mutta, I think, because Carl is on an onslaught to take 3 quick wins on this map. And what's the final time going to be? Because he is extremely far ahead. 1:12.55. Yeah, that is Carl Jr. Gives us a hat trick, and he's now gonna go back and practice for his next match. GG. Next round. Now the other players have a bit of a chance to secure some points. Especially Granati has looked very good thus far. Huge chances for Mutta as well, I think, with the trick. But Gwen has been missing a little bit, also flying off here. Might not have had the time to prepare as much as he'd like to this weekend either. He's of course only 17 years old, Gwen, and also busy with studies and school next to playing Trackmania at this level. Whereas Mutta and Granati more time on their hands, and also better runs in this round. Granati having to release. This should be Mutta's round to win, but he is going for this risky trick, and he missed the ring. Oh, Mutta with a chance to perhaps just save it there. Doesn't realize how much of a lead he had to work with. And Granati can now claim this round for himself. 1:13.2. Also one of the slower rounds, but still a really good time. Faster than basically anyone except these very players can drive consistently. But it comes down to the small details. If you want to get a 1:12, like here, a wider line, it looks a little bit awkward, but the exit speed generally pays off. Brings you back in. Gwen here actually with a great run. Fending off both Mutta and Granati. Good transition to the plastic. Now, just this long slide into the checkpoint. Give yourself good space to work with. Gwen remains in the lead, but will Mutta succeed with this ramp trick he's been working on? You can see here, landing a bit earlier, more speed than Gwen. He's catching up. The second trick. Will this one land? Oh no, too high. And that means it's all for nothing. DNF comes out. And Gwen will take the round 112.6 here. Good winning time for Gwen. Definitely might be more prepared than we thought. Just had a few off rounds before getting into the flow of the track. Because I don't think you drive a 1:12.6 unless you have had some practice coming into it. It's still some details missing though, like the tight line there. Both Grenadier and Mutta will gain a 10th. But here Gwen comes back with superb speed. This part into the plastic, he does really well every time. Through the checkpoint, good spacing as well. Mutta's 0.3 behind. Is it possible? I keep returning to see this trick, but it hasn't paid off yet. Gwen missed the ring in DNFs. Grenadier versus Mutta. 0.2 of a second. Did Mutta jump too low here? Oh, he did actually get the ring. That was a great last jump. But it will still be Grenadier to take it. 1:12.63. Is it gonna be Grenadier joining Carl here? In the 2 wins, no losses bracket. Looks very likely. Mutta at 0 points, Gwen at 1. Does have a little bit of breathing room before the others get to finalists. Perhaps a couple of attempts. But does he need more than one here? He's in the fight for winning already. Into the downhill, taking first, Mutta crashing out. Did Gwen clip the wall ride as well? He did. Both his opponents have made huge mistakes here, Grenadier. And now he's gonna see it on the splits. He's gonna know there is nothing left in his path except these wall ride jumps. The first one, higher than usual, but very safe. And the second one, probably just gonna make sure he gets the ring. Yeah, you can see he's going pretty high up here. But it's more than good enough. Grenadier will take the second winning spot and join Carl on the victory march. In match 2, Mime and Papu have won. Let's take a look at match number 3, where Otak has won. But there's still a close battle for second. Currently Bren in finalist, and he's in first as well. So the match will conclude right there. 112.4 from Bren. Okay, he's scary. He's a scary man, Bren. Winning together with Otak in the last match. Kappa finalist, Scrappy Spam. Trying to keep up as well. Massa has already won here. The world record holder, no surprises. But how will Scrappy, Kappa, and Spam hold up? Especially Kappa and Spam. Really important for them to get out of like the bronze matches here, because they've been down in the bottom divisions a lot, and it can be a really hard rot to climb yourself out of. So Kappa here in finalists, good opportunity to get up into silver and not have to deal with any of that for the time being. A low airtime strategy coming out from both players. And it's best done by Spam, who is getting closer. Last jump, low airtime strategy. This could be Spam's win if he lands earlier. It's all in the speed. Does Spam have enough to make it happen? He's gonna try, and he might just succeed. Spam snipes it by 0.006 of a second and remains alive in the match. Oh, that is a heroic effort. I thought there was no chance when we saw the landing speed, but he makes it work. The squeeze at the end. And now he's finalist himself. Okay, there is a chance here. There's hope alive in the match. But Kappa is fast, and Kappa is definitely hungry to prove himself after last weekend, where he apologized to all the fans for letting them down after looking really good, but not really being able to close out the attempts. How are they gonna be able to keep up with him here? Scrappy, the closest to deny him, could put us into a triple finalist if he is the one to beat Kappa this round. Spam 0.3 of a second behind, maybe a little bit too far. Is Scrappy gonna do the low airtime strategy though? Going off the side of the quarter pipe, he is. But is Kappa gonna get it better? It looks like a better landing for Kappa, a lot better exit speed. That will put Kappa in the lead, but here, Scrappy jumping low. Is Scrappy off the ring? This could be huge for him, but no, it is still Kappa in the lead, and that is more speed. Kappa will still secure it and join Masa on the climb upwards. But what a match. This was the bottom division, guys. That speaks to the level of the league. When this is like the worst you get, and it's still world class, you know? Like, these players are all amazing. So no matter where you look, you're in for some great Trackmania. That's what I'm trying to say. Very impressive. We have match 3 coming up, and well, if you don't know how the format works, it's pretty easy to understand. I hope. I try to make it easy to understand. I'll quickly show you the format video so I can explain what's going to happen now.
Second track.
So after the first 2 matches, the players get seeded, right? Whether you've won 2 matches like Carl Jr. in the champion match, or whether you've lost 2 matches like other players. I don't have the full overview, but yes. If you won 2 matches, you're in champion. If you lost 2, you're in bronze. And if you have 1 and 1, you're in gold or silver. Then we go to here. A lot of matches. But basically, if you win, you move up a division, right? If you win a match, you move up. Green arrows. If you lose, you go down. Red arrow. So if you're Carl Jr. in champion match 1 and you lose, you go to gold match 2. And then if you win in gold match 2, green arrow, you go to champion match 3. And at the end, you play 1 final match in whatever your match 3 is. And if you win, you get a medal. So if you win, you get the champion medal. That's the best one. If you lose in champion, you get gold. If you win in gold, you get gold. If you lose in gold, you get silver. You can see it all here. It's hopefully pretty easy to understand. If you just are able to compartmentalize the information. Yes, exactly. We got the next set of matches coming up. And I think we're going to follow the champion matchup. That one between the players who have all won 2 matches, lost 0. And that is Carl Jr., Grenadi, Mime, and Papu. That's the match we'll follow, and they're going to be playing Clock Tower. Gonna show you the map once here, so you get familiar. This is Clock Tower. Right in the start here, it has a wiggle on the ice that you don't really see in this preview, but the players will wiggle their car like a snake on the ice. Low airtime on the jump there, inside drift, and then you just want to carry the speed down the hill. Full dive into this left dirt turn, stay on the inside line. And here you go into a mixture of transitions between platforms. So there's like a drift into dirt, and then you transition to a road, and you go over to grass, transition to platform. It's a very flowy map. It feels nice to play. One big feature is this turn. The more speed you carry out of it into the loop, the better. Snowballs really fast. Drop down onto the road, angle the car a bit to the left, so you can carry the speed through this turn. Now there's 2 more jumps, and then the ending, which is a blind jump. You can't really see the platform you're landing on. Right here, you just jump and try to aim for that little ledge over there. And then you just full commit to a left turn into the finish. That's how this map works. Players are on the server. They're getting ready. And we'll soon receive them for the match. But that ending is very hard to aim. You have to build up a good feeling for where it is through a lot of practice. You can see Mime here going for it. If you're just a little bit off the aim, you will not make it to the platform. Looks like the others are not in the area trying it. But it's a scary jump. It requires the utmost precision. So whoever wins here remains in the champion match. You can always see top left corner. And whoever loses here goes into gold. So pay attention right at the very start. This is warm-up, but look at how the players move the car. They wiggle. Left, right, left. Like a snake. That builds up more speed than not doing it. Because the Trackmania car has more grip when you're steering on ice. So if you just steer a little bit in the start here, it builds up speed. And last week, Mudda was one of the only players using that. And he used it to great effect. He was able to win a lot of rounds thanks to it. But into this first round, Papu clipping the jump. We have Grenadi, Mime, and Carl in the top three. Grenadi going for a very outside bank dirt turn, but losing a little bit of speed compared to Mime and Carl, who have gotten a small lead. Grenadi here, though, setting up for big speed, trying to carry it through the loop. Will it pay off? He will only be losing time here. Next to Mime, who is out of the fight. Full-on faceplant. Grenadi's gonna crash as well. Papu is actually back into the fight for top two. But it all depends on the jump. Will Carl Jr. land it here on this first go? That looks solid. Onto the plank and into the finish. Effortless, honestly, from Carl, who wins the round in a bit of havoc behind him. It's a bit of a mess. But they made it on through. Wiggles out. We saw a small mistake here last round from Papu. This time makes it more clean. Oh, Grenadi barely able to survive there. No idea how he was able to recover, but he's still in the race. But really, all three players here are just chasing down one man, and that is Carl, who so far has been driving extremely clean. Papu losing grip there on the uphill. Mime falling off the track. They all fall except Carl here. It doesn't seem to be having any issues driving this really difficult technical track. But can he land the jump? That might be the one thing that could give the others a chance here. But Carl is clean as ever. And that is a 105.7. A great winning time. Really, really fast. And if you're one of the others, it's so hard to keep up with that. It's almost like in the last match where Carl Jr. won 3 rounds in a row, and then you can start trying to win rounds. Here he's a bit behind, and there is a chance for others to take a point from him, as he has not gotten the greatest jump earlier on. But now let's see, where does Carl Jr. gain? How does he do it? Here on the uphill drift, very inside approach. Not with the greatest exit speed. Mime's actually driving very fast up front, matching Carl Jr.'s pace from earlier rounds. And here they're actually all able to beat Carl, so huge round by everybody. But now the jump on to that tiny plank up in the clock tower. Who's gonna land it? Mime looks like he has a great approach for it. Gonna land wide and push for speed, and that will be his victory. 105.50 now. That's an amazing time. That is actually very close to the world record. So Mime answering right back. If he can deliver that, then he can beat Carl. But here, he clips the platform on the jump. Loses 3 times. Papu has gear issues here. Car shifted gear in the dirt turn. Not something you want to happen. That's going to leave Grenady and Carl with the cleanest starts thus far. Grenady about to jump here. Loses the grip on the uphill. And everybody's made 1 tiny mistake except Carl Jr. Papu make that 2 tiny mistakes. Crash before the loop. Oh, good inside line for Grenady. He's getting closer to Carl. This is not over yet. Able to gain a 10th with that. Now into the downhill. He's getting closer. The jump onto the plank. Does he have the lineup? It's very wide, but this could be good for speed. Grenady with a chance to snipe Carl Jr. here, but Carl stays on the inside line and he takes the win. Carl Jr. 3 quick ones. Will move on into the winner bracket, into the next champion match. With Carl winning, we find ourselves 3 players in the match. Mime, Grenady, and Papu. Mime with 1 round win so far. Grenady showed really good signs on this. Apart from the 1 line where he jumped on the grass here earlier, he had a pristine run. And he could maybe match Mime's pace, but now he doesn't need to. Mime crashes out. He only needs to beat Papu here. And that's not only Papu is fast, but he showed he could do it last round. The landing here on the road, pushing to the inside corner is what he did so well, and Papu missed the approach there now. Grenady has an open road ahead. Nobody close to him, but he still has to jump to contend with. Still has to aim the platform he cannot see. And that is a little bit far to the left here. Does he remain? Oh, he stays on it. Good save there. Not the fastest time, but Grenady gets the point. Does succeed. Still needs to get 2 more. 3 points needed to get the win. Papu, the only player without a point at the moment. It might not be his best map, this one. But he was really strong in the first 2 weeks, so... Already getting to the champion match, winning his first 2 is showing that he still got it. Just needs to deliver here against Mime and Grenady if he wants to join Carl. In the winner bracket, Mime here. Really fast. Not just ahead of his opponents, but on general pace. But then he crashes the checkpoint. Papu versus Grenady on the jump. Is Papu too far to the left? He has to release a lot. Grenady can go full speed, and Grenady can take the round win by 700ths of a second. Mime, thus far in the Grand League, we've only seen him in 2 steps. He really strikes me as a young Musa. And what I mean by that is, like, in Musa's early matches, a couple of seasons ago, we would see incredible pace until we didn't. It would be like world record pace, easily so far ahead, and then just like a oopsie, crash the checkpoint. Mime has so much potential. It's very evident from how he plays, like the 1:05.50 he delivered, right? But then he also crashes the next 3 rounds. And it's this very difficult balance to walk where you want to drive fast, you're able to drive fast, but you're also playing very close to your limit. Papu has been in the game for years at the top level. He has the potential to match Mime's pace here. He's not driving that fast because he's trying to play it a bit more safe. And now we'll see if Mime's risk finally pays off here. He's half a second ahead just about. But the last jump is difficult. And he will make it. Looked like Papu had a comeback opportunity, but no. Mime stays ahead to put himself into finalists. Very, very exciting though to get some new names like Mime on the top level. Really only has been playing this like high up since the World Cup, where he got into the top 16, I believe. Now he's just a household name in the scene already. Grenadi made a mistake, crashed out. It is Papu versus Mime. Papu still 0 points. This is desperation hour if he wants to remain with a clean slate in this step. Needs to beat Mime and Grenadi for the next 3 rounds consecutively. That looks like a good landing. He can push this for speed. He can get a bit closer to Mime. He's gonna put them right equal on the splits into the checkpoint. But the jump will decide it. Who can aim this one the best? Papu's gonna enter with a lot more speed for the setup. Is that a little bit too much left though? I think it is. And I'd favor Mime's chances to win here as he goes a bit wide, but carries the speed, and Mime will take that, joining Carl in the winner's bracket. Looks like a very close match 2 here between Afi, Gwen, Mora, and Aurel is unfolding as well. Afi has won. Gwen and Mora both finalists. Oh, Gwen flying off. And with Aurel having made a mistake, Mora has a huge opportunity to close this out right now. Will he be able to do it? This is so difficult to aim the jump. Looks like he will just about get it. And there he is. Aurel realizes. Mora takes the win here in match number 2. Oh my god, wait. Quad finalists? Hang on. Hang on. There are 4 finalists in match 3. Wait a second. Bren looks like he takes the first round. Okay. We're joining for a triple finalist. So all of them won 2 rounds. Now Bren won his 3rd to go up into gold. This is an important one to win though. If you lose here, there is no way for you to win the step. If you lose 2 matches, you cannot win the step anymore. You can only afford to lose 1. Like all these players have already. So you have to win here to get a good result on the day. Bren safely gets out of silver here. Now in the 2nd quad finalist round. Kappa with an early lead. Massa still looming a little bit behind, with a chance to catch up if he gets good speed here. Otak also in the mix, right next to Kappa here, actually overtaking the lead. Into the left turn, who's going to get the best approach? Kappa holding that line beautifully. Great speed from Kappa, up in first. But will he land the jump here? He needs to get onto the bridge in the clock tower perfectly to secure it. The other 2 are right behind. Otak's going to miss the jump. It will not be Otak. Masa's right behind, but he's too far behind. And it is Kappa to take the 2nd winning spot out of this match. Bren and Kappa survive silver. And Otak and Masa have to rethink their strategy now going into the last 2 matches. They don't have the best scoreline. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Great matches all around. The next map coming up is a new one. We only saw it so far in Tmgl Challengers, but I'll show it to you again. It is the map Speed Up. Fascinating map. I love it. It really delivers on its name because you go very fast. Starts out with a jump to the dirt here. You want to carry speed as much as possible. Then a very inside line around these barriers on the grass. full inside drift before jumping into the bobsleigh. Try to stay as high on the wall as you can. A gentle slide into the checkpoint before you go around the dirt corner. And here, you can choose to go either very wide on this platform or very narrow. Couple that we're spectating just did a wide line. And then onto the road, wide line is Kappa's choice here as well. Now carrying the speed into the ending section of the map. It has an ice slide after this turn here. And the more speed you can carry out of it, the better. So usually pretty high exit into a narrow turn. And then the ending of speed up is just full YOLO. You get a booster, reactor booster, and you have to do left, right, and then a left and a right around all the obstacles without crashing. That is the only way to play this map. And if you release a little bit, if you hesitate a little bit in the ending, it costs you so much speed. You really have to commit. There is no second guessing yourself. We're gonna go into the champion match, Carl Jr., Mime, Offie, and Mudda, to see who of these four have played the best so far, will deliver on the day, and remain in champion. Let's see how they handle it. Players have just gotten onto the server now. Very curious if they're able to do it. For now, looks like most players in the start area. Mime going to the middle. I'm also always curious if there are new lines. Here he goes very wide. This is even wider line than Kappa, and he wants the exit speed. That's why he's doing it. But it might not pay off versus going just full inside line. We'll see. Onto the ice. Pretty wide setup here too. And then the ending. No pressure, just full speed left, right, left, right, left, right. Easy as that. Mime making this not even look that difficult. Although it is. Let's see how Mudda does it. Secret seems to be very far left on the first one to be able to carry the line and the speed all the way to the finish. Oh, Carl, a proponent of just full inside line. I'm not sure if you can see the difference without the comparison of the cars, but you'll see it when they play. And often, when a map is played for the first time, there'll be lines that players don't know even exist. And then they adapt for the next week, so... we shall see. Oh, Carl hitting the wall. Not the best warm-up to feel a bit nervous about the end here. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what this does to your mental if you're crashing all the warm-up, but here he got the trajectory he wanted. I'm sure if he had to, he'd be able to close out the rest of that. But we are on map 4 here of step 3. We're watching the champion match. Mudda versus Carl Jr. versus Mime versus Offie. Carl Jr. and Mime have both won all their first matches. Whereas Offie and Mudda have lost one each. Let's see here. Wide setup here for Carl. Mudda clipping the inside, going a bit too wide. A bit too narrow. Now this slide. You want to build up speed as much as you can for the bobsleigh. Set up into the plastic slide. Mime, a master of the style. And then this downhill. Where do you go? Look at this. Carl super inside. Mime setting up way wider. Same for Offie. And the point of it is the exit speed. which it does not really look like they're able to get over him. So Carl Jr. is actually gaining with the inside line here. Fighting back a couple of hundreds, but it's such a close race in the first round. The ice slide could be decisive. Whoever gets the most speed into the quarter, Carl Jr. ahead, but we saw him miss this trick in the warm-up. Will he get it now? In the very first round, he has to release. He could not hold the line, and Mime commits at full speed to secure the win instead. It is Mime taking the first round. Mime showing no fear at the end of speed up there. But it could be that the prep going into it from Carl, that he just wasn't really feeling it. But if he's gonna win 3 rounds here, he has to get comfortable with it. So, gotta use these rounds the best he can. Mime on top of the bobsleigh, going a little bit too high. And will not be winning this round here. Even more inside approach from Mutta here than the others. 0.3 behind Uffy into the wall. So now Carl versus Mutta. Mutta is really good on the ice slides. Can expect him to gain a little bit of time here perhaps. But then it is the ending. And I don't know how Carl's gonna handle it this time. Mutta's losing time before it. Will Carl hold strong on speed up? First 2 turns full speed, and the rest is easier. He should be able to have it here, and he does. Carl Jr. is Carl Jr. and does Carl Jr. things. 1 point for him. Next roundup. We've seen very good consistency so far from Uffy, who has been really driving fast among second places, but hasn't really shown up in the limelight in first on this map. But he looks like he's capable of doing that in this round. With a good approach there, he could go up into first right now, ahead of Carl. Fighting for this win. Depends on the ending as well, of course, but he has a good shot at it. Need to nail the ice slide. That's a great setup if he can carry the exit speed here. Uffy way ahead of Mime now. A 10th to spare. Mime's gonna commit all in. Will Uffy do the same? Yes, he will. Holds the first 2 turns. And speaking of, Uffy's gonna take this one. 1:06.09. Great winning time. And that's the thing about these matches, which is so fascinating. It's like, sure, you have Carl Jr., he is incredibly good, but in any given round, seriously, any one of these players can win. They're all that good. And they all have earned their spot here. It is so close that just like the tiniest details each round decide who wins and who loses. Here, Mime with a great start, but now trajectories will play a big part. Wide setup before the grass, and he is gonna come back with a bit more exit speed, perhaps saving just a few hundreds over Carl. But the other 2 players have been left in the dust. They're way behind. It's a fast round, and it's a battle between one of the youngest, least experienced players and one of the oldest, most experienced players. And Mime right now, the young gun from the Open Grand League last season, is making this look easy against Carl Jr. Running away with it as best as he can. Carl Jr. crashing out, and it will be Mime taking the round. 1:06.4. Mime now finalist. In this heat, needs 1 more round to close it out. Seems like he's really found the flow here. He's playing so close to the limit all the time. A big crash. Not by Carl Jr., but by Mutta, who hits the wall. Or actually, sorry, Offie. Not Mutta. Mutta still in the fight. Offie with a big bonk. That leaves 3. And it's once again Mime and Carl. This time, Carl a bit ahead of Mime before the ice slide. This is where Mime won the previous round just by having more exit speed, and this time again, he is a little bit faster than Carl Jr. before the ending, but here Carl has a lot of speed. Will he be able to carry it? Because he could win if he does, but no! He hesitates a little bit, and it is Mime winning 2 in a row, winning 3 overall, and going into the top match, the champion match, in the final later today. Dobra robota for the young Polish player. 1 more spot left to fight for in the top match between these 3, Offie with a point and Carl with a point thus far. Oh, really good exit speed there for Carl. It's hard to know where he finds it, but just gets a little bit more speed out of the bobsleigh, and that's a 10th. Inside line's gonna let him maintain his lead here. Offie getting closer though. Great drift to actually get closer. Mutta as well until he hit the wall. Now Carl versus Offie. Offie with a small lead. Ice slides come through. Carl still ahead. This is in his hands if he gets a good ending. Gonna have to commit here, Carl. He drifts, and that is Offie zooming away into the sunset with 1 more point on his tally. Offie now finalist. Just a small slide in the end is all that you need. Or all that you don't need, rather, because it loses 0.2 of a second. Will we have a champion match here without Carl, who looked really dominant earlier on here? He just has to defend and make sure that Offie doesn't win a round. For now. Only needs 2 more round wins himself to go into the champion match. Really good start this round. Great exit speed. This is going to be a massive lead for Carl. Only question is, can he hold on to it in the ending, where we've seen it slip away a few times? After the ice slide, this is where things get interesting for Carl. Good speed through the turn. It's him versus Mutta. Offie slid out. That's at least something, but will he get the point here? Full speed through the first 2. This should be Carl getting the point, and yes, it will be. No mistakes this time. Double finalist. Mutta needing 3 in a row if he's going to win it. It's not impossible, but it's a long way there. We are drawing to a close here. Out of the gate, everybody equal. But into the bobsleigh, we know Carl's able to build up just a bit more speed on the exit here usually. And he does so again. A 500th lead against his opponents. And now the inside-outside question. Where do you go? Both Mutta and Carl going for the inside approach here. Oh, and Mutta carrying so much speed through the drift, having to release a little bit. Making it such a close race before the ice slide. This could be it for the top match. Later on, Offie and Carl are both finalists. Offie going super high, will have the speed, but a very wide trajectory to deal with. Carl in the lead for now. Mutta with a chance to deny, perhaps. If he gets a good end, Carl hits the wall. Will Mutta deny them both here in the first round? Yes, he will. The match is anything but over. Carl committed to the left turn just a tiny bit too early. And you have to, think about, what does this do to your mental, right? You failed the end a little bit in the warm-up. And throughout these rounds, you haven't been able to consistently do that pattern. Now you're in a double finalist spot. You know there's a chance you're about to lose the match. And you still have to do that ending once good to secure it. Here, 0.2 of a lead in the start, Carl. Massive run here. If he can maintain that gap to the others. Going into the drift here. Carries the speed. 280 on the freewheel, and he's still 0.1 ahead. Will this be the one for Carl Jr.? The ice slide isn't that good. The exit angle is awkward. It's Offie going into the lead. Can Mutta deny him once? For the universe to be in balance, it might just be Mutta denying both players twice. And suddenly we're going into a triple finalist situation. Okay, this is anyone's game. It looked rough for Mutta being down with the other two players both being finalists. He had 0 points. Now all he needs is one more to clutch this out. And he has the best start. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Carl, of course, gonna try to get really good speed on the exit of this bobsleigh, as he does in most rounds. But this time Mutta's able to follow, and Carl has not built up a good lead out of the starting block into the downhill. Then will anyone be able to get a small lead out of this section? It is Carl Jr. building up a small advantage here. Mutta losing a lot of speed in the transition. Offie hitting the wall. It is Carl still in the lead, but his biggest opponent is the ending of this map. That is what this might come down to. He loses a bit of speed before the ice slide. Mutta is getting closer. Perhaps Mutta can snipe him himself, do all the work. He's getting closer. Last drift he commits with high speed. He's faster than Carl into the speed turns. Will Mutta hold on? He's going wide, and no! Carl Jr. in the nick of time. He holds on just barely. Mutta tried to commit for the snipe, but it was not enough. Carl and Mime go up into the winner's match here. And Offie and Mutta will have to play the gold match to try to get their medals. Wow. Wow. Exciting, huh? Super exciting. If it's your first time watching, make sure to tune in next weekend as well. This is every weekend that we watch Trackmania eSport matches. The next map coming up, guys, is the map Tiny Gap. Now, it is a map with a very precise jump. Many of them, actually. It almost looks a bit awkward in the way that it plays, because it's just jump into a very sharp turn, into a jump, into a very sharp turn. Like here, you jump, you land, and then you have to immediately dive down into this wall ride thing. Sharp turn left, sharp turn to the right. And then a jump followed by a 180 turn around these yellow signs here. Drop down on the circle platforms. And then just, you get to relax a little bit. One straight here to catch your breath before you do a full send jump to a quarter pipe. Gotta land that. Instantly drift to the right. Left, what? I gotta know my directions. Jump into the water. And then you have the last part to deal with, which is a massive jump. If you look at the speedometer here, you want 215, 216 speed to perfectly land into this gap here. And that is the main difficulty, is jumping across the map to land over there. Not easy at all. Not easy at all to do. But we are watching the best players in the world, so if anyone can do it, it is likely to be them. The way this works, we're going to first watch the gold matches, gold match, and then we're going to watch the champion match right after. So let's take a look at Offie Mutta Gwen Aurel is the next match. We'll get in there. Alright, gonna real quick check here. I restarted my game just now to see if it might work as intended. If not, we'll do the classic, but yeah, I don't think this is working. All right, okay. It was worth a shot. We'll do the same thing we have been doing. Let's get in. So this is a map we've never seen in a match format, and what that means is that there can be hidden strategies. There can be hidden strategies, new lines, tricks that we didn't know, setups, everything. Because players usually practice these maps off stream, nobody sees what they're doing, and then if they find a strategy, this is the time to reveal it. So we gotta keep a keen eye here in the first rounds, see if we notice anything. The public world record though, 1:05.56 from Musa. And earlier on in the Challenger division, we saw players drive 1:06.1. Fastest runs. Match starting in 8 seconds. Get some hype in the chat. This is the gold match. The champion match happens right after it. The winners here get a gold medal, and that is great for the overall standings. The losers get a silver, which is still great. They played a good step. Let's see how they handle the final map. We are not live. Debated. It's 10 seconds warm up. Just to make sure everybody's readied up. We are now live. Finally. And we're watching RL, who we haven't seen too much of today. He's kind of been in the matches we haven't gotten to see. But last weekend, he was the player who won the entire step. Out of all 16 players, he won. He got the champion medal. Together with Moda, actually. Well, here, starting off with a bit of a slow landing on the platform. And that lets the other 3 players overtake him. A wide setup on that platform for Moda, just noticed. Looks like it builds pretty good exit speed. Might be something he's been working on. But into this first round, Gwen has made a small mistake too. And it is Moda and Offie with pretty big leads over the others. Oh, that is such a low jump, but incredibly well executed. You gotta just love the confidence that you see sometimes in these matches where the players go for absurd jumps and it doesn't look like they're faced by it. Last jump here, 216 speed needed if you want a clean jump. Gwen might be jumping a little bit too short here with his 211. He will. And that is Mutta taking the first round, the first point. Second round up. Raul didn't really get much of a chance to prove himself here, as he had a bit of an awkward landing on this jump, which cost way too much time, but now we might get to see what he can do here on the map. Oh, Offie. Sometimes you get a feel that you should abandon the racing line very early on, and that was one of them, Gwen. Reeling himself back in after going a little bit too wide. It's not too far behind, even after mistake. 0.4 Aurel making a mistake of similar scales. But it is now Mutta who could get 2 quick rounds back to back. Everyone else has failed, and it depends on the end speed. Let's turn on camera 3 here. He wants 216. That's 214, and I'm not sure if he's gonna make it clean. Oh. Just barely. 214 is enough, but it's not very safe. If you want to play it safe, you want to end up at like 216. Still though, enough for finalists here. Could get the quick hat trick here, Mutta. Early downhill, he's looking very clean on this. And then he had the wide platform setup here. It goes a little bit wider than the others. to carry the speed through that turn. And it seems to be paying off. Oh, that's good exit speed for Offie. Wow. He's going to easily go up into first with that. But does he have the aim for the quarter pipe jump with that speed? Yes, he will. It's in time for the slide setup as well. Offie's on a great run here. Able to keep up and match Mudda's pace, but now we're coming up to the jump here. Let's see RL speed. 216 again. 218. He has that to work with. Can release. And he will do so perfectly into the gap to take the round. Beautiful ending by RL. So there he released mid-air to get into the gap. The fastest strategy that you can possibly do at the end here is to release everything you need to before the jump and then just full speed all the way through the air. But that can be pretty hard to calculate. So being a little bit too fast is better than being too slow, because then you can never recover. If you're too slow, Mudda into the side there. That is his first big mistake of the match. And now it allows the other players a good chance here. Quarter pipe jump across. Gwen going a bit ambitiously early. He DNFs as well. It's a 1 versus 1 for the point. Either RL hits finalist here or Offie gets on the board. Oh, a nice setup from Offie to go left there. Gets the speed, but is he... Oh, he's way too fast in the jump here. Offie has to release a lot. And RL, who landed it perfectly, will be ahead by 200th of a second. 222 there for Offie. Overshot the speed. So now RL finalist as well. Everyone else on 0 points. Ooh, Offie not getting a good gear change there. Losing tremendous amount of time, and it's the 2 finalists that gained about a 10th out of the start. This time, no crash from Mudda or RL through this section. And it's starting to look like a finalist battle here. Mudda has so much speed across the ice drop downs. Offie's trying to keep up, but there's 2 red name tags far ahead. And he's not getting much closer. He has 1 line here, Offie, going far left onto the dirt to get a bit more speed. This could be the important key. You see he's getting closer. Will he be able to snipe them here in the end, or will one of the finalists win? 216 for Offie, the perfect speed, just barely. If he can avoid the signs, he crashed. And I think Mudda crashed as well. RL crashed as well and DNF'd. Who's gonna win this one? RL wins with a 113 because everyone missed the jump. That's why you never retire. I mean, sure, what's the chance of that? But Mudda hitting the give up button instead of respawn. Potentially losing a chance to win there. He will get more chances though. He is fast on this map. And his opponents still have 0 points to their name. Offie too wide. Now a 1 versus 1. Gwen versus Mudda. Gwen with really good speed on the ice. And this time the jump is not as ambitious. He stays on the road. Perfect airtime reduction. Gwen's getting closer. Does he have this setup though? No, he's not going to get the Offie line on the dirt. He will not get much closer to Mudda, but the ending jump could do it. The speed, 217, and he is going to land faster than Mudda. But will it be enough? Oh, it's close, but Mudda takes it. 300ths of a second to spare. And him and RL is the winners of Tiny Gap here in the gold division. We're gonna check Group 3 here, the Silver Division. Brand Binks, Papu, and Otak. A French match all throughout. Every French player, or well, not every, but many French players in this division here. Brand has already won, securing a silver medal. And it looks like Binks, the laptop keyboard enjoyer, is finalist. Just tapping away here in the racing game. Good line there to go up into first. He's ahead of Otak. Papu has made a small mistake. Oh, but here Binks jumps very high. Or perhaps it was just Otak who jumped perfectly low. But either way, it's a lot closer now than it was before. Early inside approach by both. Binks carrying the speed much better across the dirt. And the final jump, we know the number. 216 is what you're looking for. 223 from Otak. Where is he going? He's going way too far. And it is not far enough. As Binks finishes here. 1:05.73 winning time. Yeah, Binks well-deservedly gets the silver medal here. That's an astonishing run. Let's real quick check up on bronze as well. And then after that, we will have the champion match. Massa secured a bronze medal already. Spam being finalists. Versus Pack and Scrappy. Both who have 1 point each. Quarter pipe jump across. Oh, that's just barely in. Airtime reduction is there. He is within winning distance here, Spam. But it's going to be difficult. Does the airtime reduction line there? But now the last jump, Scrappy is 0.3 ahead. Will they have the speed? Spam with a perfect 214 if he lands it. But the other two players have it clean as well. It's Scrappy taking the round with a 1:05. And keep in mind, these times are faster in bronze than they were driving in gold. That is the craziness of this format. Whichever way it shakes up, everybody's practiced and everybody's incredibly fast. So just because we're watching the bronze doesn't mean the level is any lower. It is still incredibly difficult to win a single round here. Both Scrappy and Spam finalists now. Pack still with 1 point, hitting the wall. He's going to be able to make the jump. Oh, barely. Pack, even after touching, still able to keep going. That is great reaction times to pull off a great line afterwards. 10th ahead of the others. Now then, here across the platform transition, Spam's getting closer, right next to him now, even overtaking first, perhaps, after the dirt. Oh, both players no-sliding. It is disaster. A synchronized no-slide by both Pack and Spam, but will Scrappy hit the jump? He's releasing and safing like no time before, but yes, Scrappy takes it. That is incredible. Scrappy takes the bronze. After the no-slide incident on Tiny Gap. You don't see that too often. GG's. Okay. Now we have the final match of the day. The one we've been waiting for. Mime Carl Jr., Kappa, and Grenadi. On the same map. First to 3 points wins. But instead of winning a bronze medal, they win a champion medal. And effectively winning one champion medal is almost securing you a spot in the playoffs. Currently, only 4 players have one. What a step it's been for Kappa to go all the way up here, either to secure a gold or a champion medal. I mean, his best medal previously was a bronze one, so he's had a great step. Grenadi as well, consistent as ever. Worst he can get is gold. Can't fight for the challenger. Awesome. Carl Jr. and Mime, I think both have yet to secure a champion medal themselves. So we will have 2 new players that don't have one yet, holding one. Only question is who? Only 45 minutes until we start here, guys. Do lean back in your chair. Get some water. Get some popcorn. I am, of course, kidding. We're starting in 2 seconds. The warm-up timer is bait. We're live. Just a quick 10-second warm-up again, I think, to make sure everybody's on and then we're starting. So Carl Jr., Mime, Kappa, and Granati, they all have personal bests under 106. Some of them have practiced offline, so I don't know their actual PB, if they have any lines that we haven't seen. But, all I know is it's gonna go fast. Let's take a look here. On board with Granati, who plays with the steering wheel in camera 3. And he misses what I think he tried to do there, which was a no slide on the gear change. So a strategy for sure, but does not pay off in the first round here. Wide setup for the 180 turn from Kappa is going to be resulting in a lot of exit speed. He's getting closer to Mime, but a wide setup on the platform means Mime is going to almost run away with it. If it wasn't for the one wall touch, Mime would have had a clean round win here, but not quite. It is big respawns coming through for most players, except for Granati and Carl. The 2 players to get through this first round unscathed. And they still have the big jump to contend with. 216 speed is what you're aiming for. The gold standard 215 for Granati. Gonna be clean. You see Carl Jr. releasing behind him, and Carl crashing out means Granati will be the one to take the first point. I think everybody's shaking loose a little bit. Just, there's a lot of nerves, you know? None of these players have won a champion medal before. Now you have the chance to do so. You gotta string together 3 round wins before anyone else does. Look at this no slide. Oh, Granati has a strategy. That is new. And I think that saves close to a 1/10 of a second. So what he does in the grass downhill there is he flicks the car to gear up and then prevents the car from sliding to build up speed. That might be huge for Granati here, as he is fast on the rest of the map too by the looks of it. Up into first here. Quarter pipe jump across, beautifully done. Fighting with Mime here for first. The dive into the water is there. Mime with good exit speed is gonna jump though. Not gonna have the best setup for this turn. Granati getting a bit closer. And again, we go into the end. Carl Jr. joining the battle. 218 here for Granati. Mime with beautiful speed on the right side. And he threads the needle. 1:05.85 the winning time. Well, the serve point, I mean, they're 0.3 away from world record here. But let's take a look at the Granati line again. So Granati here. Just look at what he's doing and why it's so good. He sets up wide, allows the car to shift up, and then no slides to try to build more speed. He can jump higher, carry more speed into the downhill, and overall, if he does this perfectly, it might result in a 1/10 of a lead. Oh, but the landing here is a bit slow. Gets pulled a bit by the platform, and it's gonna drop into 4th place. Might not pan out the way he was hoping. Jumps the highest of the 4 players as well. Mime clipping the checkpoint. That is him out of the winning battle for now. Early landing for Granati is gonna go for this left line together with Kappa, but it's still Carl in first. Onto the last jump they go. Do they have the line here? Kappa could have a lot of exit speed, but it's not enough to topple Carl, who takes a point as well. And this is shaping up to be a really close final, as nobody's gotten 2 points yet. Good rounds all around. Granati losing a bit in the start to set himself up here. The setup cost a bit of time, but now so high up on the platform, and look at this. This is the line we've been waiting to see. He gains a 10th on everybody else. Is he going to be able to hold this lead? Oh, that is so cool that he was able to find that. Looks like it's diminished a little bit across the platform drops here. Mime driving beautiful lines to take first. But this gives Granati a much better winning chance than if he isn't using the line. It's working out for him. Here in a battle with Carl for second, but that's not good enough. They have to catch Mime, who's making a breakaway right now. 0.3 ahead. He's on monster pace. Will he get the ending good though? Oh, the car is tilted. I don't think there's going to be a good landing. Oh, barely. And Mime will secure it. 1:05.68. That's a nice time. No wonder they weren't able to keep up. He almost beat the world record in a live match. Alright, eyes on Granati in the start here. First place going into the setup here. Could be even further ahead by the end of it. Look at this! This is crazy! Oh my god, and nobody else has this information. It is only a 10th of a second, but at the highest level, that is a lot of time to gain. He hasn't been able to capitalize on it too much in the rest of the race, but it is still there. And I think next week we might see everybody doing this. That's the cool thing about hidden lines, is as soon as they're released, everybody goes back to practice them. Can he make use of it here, Granati? It is Mime with an attempt at closing out the match here in finalist to get his first champion medal. Only matched by Carl Jr. so far this race. Inside line by both. The setup, he needs 2:15. That's good speed. And if he can land this jump, no! Mime misses. And also Granati misses. It's Kappa to take the round win, to put everybody else at 1 point. Mime missing the tiny gap by jumping in an even tinier gap there. Not what he was looking for. But he's still the only finalist. Still has one more attempt undisturbed where nobody else can win before him. But if he doesn't win now, we will have another finalist. Good speed here for Mime. Up in first. Very closely followed by Kappa. There's been a mistake from Granati, who is too far away to make anything happen here. Kappa with great exit speed out of the water. But it's such a close fight between all three players here. Before the last jump, Kappa with low speed could be a good thing for the setup. Is he gonna land this clean? Mime does, and Mime might just win here. Mime taking the first out of the 2 champion medals in week 3 with a great performance on Tiny Gap. And it's an even level between the remaining 3 players. Nobody with an advantage yet. But Granati with a clear technical advantage. I mean, look at that line. It's 1600s ahead. And now he has to release to adapt it, but it makes sense. And he is utilizing it to its greatest strength yet in this round. 1200s ahead. Oh, but does he jump too low there? No, it's perfect. to remain a 10th ahead of Kappa. He's fighting so valiantly. Same with Carl, who's getting closer after the water part. Kappa trying to build up speed for the jump here. They're all side by side before the jump. Anyone can win this right now. Kappa with the inside line has to try to get the speed set up. He's diving in from high above and he gets the speed. Kappa will be taking this very important round to put himself at finalist before the others. But it is so close. Oh, Kappa clipping in the start. On the very first jump, only losing 11 hundredths. But that is before Grenadi's nose slide. This could very quickly be 0.2, 0.25 of a second that Grenadi just gets for free in the start to work with. And that is so much at this level. To just gain a 10th. Grenadi has 3 tenths now. And I'm sure he's feeling it. The pressure. He clipped a little bit on the platform and the others have caught up again. So he lost the speed there, Grenadi. Oh, Carl Jr. clipping, almost going off the platform. Now into the water. It's Kappa as the finalist, looking to close it out right here, right now. Going from having no silver medals even to getting a champion medal. He's one jump away, Kappa. Diving into the final ramp. Will it be? No, he misses the jump. It will not be the champion medal yet. Grenadi extends the match with a win, going into finalist himself. Oh, and this is a tough mental situation now. For Kappa to be so close to winning and to miss at the final hurdle. What does that do to your mental going into the last couple of rounds here? Are you going to be able to drive at your peak? Because you will need to when you're facing Grenadi and Carl. There is a no holding back, but it looks like he's able to. Carl and Kappa have lost. Kappa and Grenadi are in the top 2 right now as Carl loses a bit of time out of the ice. The 2 finalists, it could very quickly end right here. This could be the final round. Carl, who looked indomitable on the day, is about to be defeated by either Grenadi or Kappa. By the looks of it, the last jump here, Kappa in a clear lead, trying to line up for the tiny gap. Will he hit it this time? When it matters most, yes. Kappa will, and Kappa takes it. Getting a champion medal for his work. And that's what I call a comeback in the league. Literally from last to, I think, 5th place now. Or 6th place. Climbing 10 spots just with 1 win. It's pretty, crazy. Pretty damn crazy. But I mean, it shows how quick this format can change. If you have one good day, match day, that's all you need. Even it could be the 6th and final step. If you deliver when it matters, I mean, you're golden. You're golden. I'm gonna get an updated format sheet, which shows the rankings and everything. Waiting for that to be published, but curious if it's updated on Wikipedia already. Looks like it is not. But yeah, it's so interesting. I can show you. Going into this step, Kappa was dead last in the league with 1 bronze. And the way this works is like the Olympic Games format, right? So 1 champion medal is better than 5 gold. It doesn't matter. And when he got 1 champion medal, that means he instantly jumps up here. So it's like, it's pretty insane. And he was feeling like pretty bummed out last week, I think, about, you know, missing many opportunities. He apologized on Twitter to his fans. I'm very happy for Kappa today. Can we get a golden cuppa check in chat for the man? He made his name way before the emote was even a thing, but it's really funny in Trackmania now that